Could areas near the Wilton train station be further developed to provide more affordable housing?
Definitely. I think, as we had all mentioned earlier, that Route 7 is a great area for development, and especially with the train station right there. And as I mentioned earlier, with the bridge that now connects the train station to town center, I think that area definitely makes sense. Mr. Chris?
I think that we just have to remain patient. I mean, a lot of these buildings that are dormant or, that are ripe for development will take time to turn over. I do think that we have a lot of blueprints for success that this Planning and Zoning Commission and the great leadership of the commission have put forward. I do think that there are certain flaws in everything we do with commercial properties. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the 5-story building here downtown, but there's not a commercial property that's ever been built that one could say is perfect. I am in favor of continuing to look at Route 7. I think that Route 7 is where the great opportunities are, and that will enable us to really increase the aesthetic and the demand for our town as we continue to develop Route 7. I just point out that the buildings across from ASML that are going up as apartments are outstanding. They're very aesthetically pleasing, and I do think that if we saw more and more of that up and down Route 7 with retail space on the first floor, this town would change in a big way.
Mr. Hubbard?
I do agree with Colin that building across from ASML, I think it's 88 Danbury Road, is a great example of a successful development. Relative to development at train stations, I think one of the things we've got to worry about is what's going to go on at Cannondale train station. I'm not thinking that we should develop it, but I think somebody else will develop it, and we need to develop a plan for how that might get developed.
Mr. Hoffman?
I'm holding CC and Savitt personally responsible for improving the train service to Wilton. But aside from that, I really think that Route 7 has been said, represent an opportunity. I'm not sure we have to build the 5 stories to exercise the value of that opportunity in downtown Wilton, but there certainly is an opportunity to improve the overall look of Route 7 as it cascades through Wilton, unless people think that power substations and storage units are attractive, which I think can be improved.
Ms. Sagerville?
I would also agree that Route 7 is an opportunity for us as a town to increase our basis of affordable or median income housing, I think that the appearance of Wilton downtown is not the appropriate place for a 5-story building, and again, unfortunately, because the current P&Z was unable to negotiate, we are stuck with that building casting a shadow down on us constantly. So I think that I would agree with the candidates to my right that there is ample opportunity on Route 7 before we start seeking to redevelop what is currently existing downtown. Thank you.
Ms. Ruth?
In terms of Route 7 development, I think that we could be creative and come up with ways that it works for us as a community. I agree that there's a lot of opportunity there. How is the traffic, which is already annoying to drive with in the morning, how is that going to impact us with the new vehicles and potentially additional lights and stuff to handle all of the traffic? But the opportunity there is to connect some of Route 7 to town, I think. And there are, similar to the bridge that we discussed, how beneficial that is to the town, taking us from the train station into town. There are great opportunities if we look at these buildings to not only have apartments, but to have businesses, and then to have the walkability, tie back to town, come up with some sort of traffic plan in advance, one that includes safeguarding my bicyclists as they ride Route 7 in the morning traffic.